Mike Hernandez was a bueno vaquero, rode some good horses, California style. I watched him for hours and he showed me a little of the old California he knew for a while. Started young horses in Bosali Fiador, onto the Touraine, the old Spanish spade. Brought them along with two hands that were gentle, some fine reining horses as ever were made. And he'd spin that pony hanging on to the...
Good morning and welcome to the Weekly Roundup. We have a big show in store for you today. Let's see. We got about 18 viewers tuning in right now, so that's perfect. Everybody's starting to log in and to see the show. This is the Weekly Roundup. It's the Grace Christian School show that we come to you every week and we tell you about what's happening here at Grace Christian School. I am your host, Sheriff P, and it is a pleasure to come to you every single Wednesday about this time to share the great stuff that's going on here at Grace Christian School. Anna, good morning. Good to see you. So glad you are able to tune in. Sandy, all the way from Texas, we're glad that you tuned in again today. We got some of our regulars. This is going to be a great show. I'm not going to let you down. The picture that you saw at the beginning of the show was Zeppelin, one of our kindergartners. There she is with the perfect pony, and everyone is getting their pictures turned in to roundup at gcsr.org, gcsrr.org, excuse me. It's a little bit early. I need a little cup of Roadrunner brew. Grab yourself a cup if you're here, and we are going to get into a great show today. Before we move any further, yesterday was the championship basketball game for the boys. They made it to the final round. They have represented our school extremely well in an extremely tough, hard-fought battle. We came up a little bit short in the end, but our boys did bring this amazing trophy home to the school for second place, and I would like to take a moment and recognize their names that made up our team this year. Aiden, Ryan, Tavin, Trevor, Jackson, Adam, Quinlan, Ryan, Tony, and Arturo. So congratulations, guys, for the great job. You are winners in our book, and thank you for the amazing work and effort that you put in this entire season to represent our school so well and so professionally out there with all the other schools. So great job. Well, it's time to get rolling into the show here, and we are putting Race for Grace at the beginning of the show. And the reason for it is there is a ton of information that we need to go over to make sure that you are all informed. You can still turn in donations. You can still send out emails. Race for Grace is this Friday, March 11th, and it is going to be a spectacular day. You are not going to want to miss it, and your kids are going to want to be here. It's great that they get here on time that day. Bob Clark, it's good to see you. I hope the hand is doing a little bit better. We are praying for you constantly as you continue to go through rehab, getting that fixed, and trying to work out your shoulders. So, Rebecca, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a pretty big crowd today tuning. We have over 50 people right now tuned in. So that is great to hear because of the fact we're going to be talking a lot about Race for Grace. But you can still turn in your sponsorships. You can send out emails and everything all the way up through race day, which is this coming Friday, March 11th. Well, I told you if we hit our goal of 55,000, Mr. Tex, a horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, unless the course is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed. When people go yakety yak and talk and waste the time a day, Mr. Ed will never speak unless he has something to say. A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, unless the course is the famous Mr. Tex. Mr. Tex is coming tomorrow. You had to endure that entire song. You're like, he knows that whole song. Yes, we hit the goal. Tex will be coming to school. I am so excited. He's so excited. It's going to be great. And, you know, when we talk to we go to the source, we ask the horse. I don't want anybody to insinuate anything, but I have a special guest who is going to be joining me. Dude, good to see you. Laugh out loud. Yes, that is pretty funny, isn't it? So I have an extremely special guest with me today that I'm going to bring in that many of you know, and we are going to be doing kind of like an interview and talking about Race for Grace. Many of you may notice Mrs. Mullaney. Mrs. Mullaney, how are you today?
Super.
Good. She's
Very
super.
excited.
Oh, look, she has her pom-poms. I didn't bring anything to do cheerleading. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. So, hey, what is happening this Friday at school?
Okay, so as you know, this Friday is Race for Grace, and we are just beside ourselves with joy that the parents will be joining us. So we are going to be cheering you on as you will be cheering your students on. So we are so excited to have you. So I just want to give you an idea of what the day will look like in the morning so you know what to expect. It's very important that the students arrive to school on time, and I'll tell you why.
That's very important, isn't it? Being on time is crucial. Set your clocks 15 minutes early. Start getting ready for that time change that's coming Saturday. Get up early, get here on time. Oh, look at this, a custom shirt.
So this is the shirt. Make sure they have their Race for Grace t-shirt. That's important that they have that on, as well as they have been assigned a color for their classroom. So you can do, spray their hair, they can wear, wristbands or headbands, something really fun. You're welcome to get a little creative with the color. We love that. It adds excitement to their day. So again, they need to be here on time, 8:25, and I'll tell you why. Once they get into classroom, the teacher has just 15 minutes to take attendance, and then that's where they're assigned their wristband, which is what they wear when they're running. And their wristband identifies them specifically. So as they run through the scanner, it'll identify how many laps they run. So the teacher needs that time in the morning to pass out each wristband and then get them to the black cup by 8:45 to take an all-school picture. So the morning is very rushed. While they're doing this, you are welcome to go and enjoy complimentary coffee. It's really good, actually, and donuts, and just enjoy other parents that you haven't been able to visit with, and enjoy that time. We're so happy that you all will be here. So I sent home a schedule of when each class will run the race so you know when you can come and cheer them on. You're going to want to let your student run at least one full lap. If you plan on joining them, then once they run the full lap, hop in their track and run with them and have a great time. We love that. So when the classroom is completed with their race, they will collectively go together to the Crows Junior truck, and they have to stay together just to get their lunch. If you brought your lunch, which you're welcome to do, and a lawn chair, you are welcome to have lunch with your students on the grass, wherever you'd like to have lunch with them, that's fine. And then they'll also collectively go to the fun zone, where we'll have like potato sack races and tug of war and things like that, and you're welcome to join in on the fun. One crucial thing we ask is, once it is completed, if you decide to go home, that you let the teacher know you're taking your student home. Because we still have daycare that will continue through 6 p.m., and it's important for safety of our students that we know where they are and that they're in your care and that you've gone home. So if you could do that for us, that would be great. And also, we will not have car lines, so that will be very different. So when you show up to pick up your student, if you're not coming to Race for Grace, just come on to campus, collect your student, and then you can leave.
So let me interrupt you for just a second there, Ms.
Sure.
You know, parents, the reason we're not having car lines, there's going to be a lot of you on campus, and parking's a premium. We're going to have all staff park on the grass to allow it. Make sure you have every single spot possible. And so that's why we don't have car line. You're able to go out and leave, and that'll open up additional parking. But like Mrs. Mullaney said, it is crucial before you leave that you check out with your child's teacher and let them know you're leaving. You can leave at any time. You could even take your Carl's Jr. lunch that they got if they signed up and take it with them. But we'd like you to stay here, but you're free to go at any time. You just have to let your teacher know. Back to you, Mrs. Mullaney. You're on a roll.
Thanks for Carl's Jr. note. If your student didn't select to get the free complimentary Carl's Jr. lunch, compliments of Dr. Kessinger, and they want to bring their lunch, just remember to make sure they have their lunch, which is completely fine, okay? And we're just so excited to have you on campus. It's been a long time, and believe me, we're ready to cheer you on, and you can come and cheer your kids on, and it's going to be really fun. But 11:45, it's all done, and that's when you're free to go home and enjoy your weekend.
So the reason we want to go over this so in depth with all of you, if you kind of look at it, 2019 blew everything up, 2020, 2021. So some of you have been here for 4 years and you haven't seen a traditional Race for Grace. And this isn't even one of our traditional Race for Graces, because when we set this up, there were still some restrictions that we had to follow in protocols. Now everything's wide open and you couldn't do it, but we knew that we still wanted to do Race for Grace. So it's important, if you're brand new, you've never been to Race for Grace, that you hear this. It's a great day. It's a day of family. We get to visit with everybody, like Mrs. Mullaney said. It's really important that you stay with your child's class the whole time as you're going to the different country events to play games and things like that. And the teachers are depending on you to reinforce everything that they're putting in place. Now, after the day ends, the day officially ends at 11:30. And if you're here with your kid, you're free to go. Other kids will go to daycare at that point. And there will be daycare, and there's no charge for daycare all the way up until 3:15, as if it was a traditional day. Oh, let's see. Wait, Sheila has a question. Sheila, thank you. Good morning. I'm assuming daycare will still be offered tomorrow. Yes, it'll be offered tomorrow on Thursday, and it will also be offered on Friday. So I'm glad you did that. You kind of gave me a peek under the tent, because tomorrow is in service day. But yes, so on Friday, if you're going home, you go home. But if your child is still here, they still have daycare. They're still going to be supervised. They're going to have fun. I understand. We all have to work still. Just because it's a great day for the students at Grace Christian School doesn't mean that you can take the rest of the day off to be with your family. But we understand that. So there will be daycare here. Your kids, like Mrs. Mullaney said, could have a complimentary Carl's Jr., but they had to sign up. If not, they needed to bring a sack lunch with them. And if that didn't happen, we'd find a way to get them a PB&J and a bottle of water or something like that, so that they don't go hungry. There's a lot going on. What else did we possibly miss, Mrs. Mullaney?
Let's see.
Are the office ladies there yelling at you at all? Hey, you forgot this or you forgot that?
They're just banging on the wall.
Okay, I thought that was the toilet.
If your child is staying for daycare, the lunch served on Friday is a little on the early side. So if they are going to stay late for daycare, it would be a great idea to pack them a little snack for late in the afternoon. They would probably appreciate that. Right. But again, we're just so excited to have you on campus. We miss seeing you. We really miss the fellowship, and it's just a great time. So if you're able to come, please come and be with us.
Parents, Mrs. Mullaney's right. It's a lot of fun. After that first lap, you're willing to get in there. And you may have seen years past, we had the color run and the bubble run. This year is only the bubble run. How we've changed up a little, how we got the color run incorporated, as Mrs. Mullaney said, your class was assigned a color, and you can deck out. You can wear, if you're purple, you can wear purple tutus, do your hair purple. If you're red, you can wear red face dye, to just show fun school spirit. And the whole point of the day is we're raising some funds to help our technology throughout the school while having a great time. And I know I speak for every one of the staff, but we are super impressed with the enthusiasm and the participation that all of you have shown. We're up over 90%, aren't we, on staff or student participation?
Incredible.
So let's see. Oh, wait, your fan clubs are starting to tune in here. Julie says, Mrs. Mullaney is the best, looking beautiful as ever. Well, thank you very much. I try to look great. Oh, you're talking about Mrs. Mullaney. That's right. So yes, Mrs. Mullaney does look beautiful every single day, and it's great. So let's see here. Sheila says, will the kids be wearing the Race for Grace t-shirt, or should we have them decked out in their color. Wear your Race for Grace t-shirts. Go ahead, Mrs. Mulaney. Sorry.
It's both. So make sure they wear their Race for Grace t-shirt, and then they can incorporate the color in any other part of their body. So again, wristbands, headband, funny colors to spray their hair, a tutu, any socks.
Yes.
You can incorporate the color anywhere, any other place. You definitely want to wear your Race for Grace t-shirt.
We really want the Race for Grace shirts out there, and the reason for that is Kaylee, all the kids put in hard. Kaylee did great getting her picture picked by her colleagues and fellow classmates here, and then we have the sponsors. People who have stepped up and helped us here at the school are on the back of the shirt. You'll see staff members with their shirts on and everything. So yes, it's the great day to wear a shirt. And Phil, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. But yes, and I know some of you are probably looking at Mrs. Mulaney's shirt and saying, hey, wait a minute. Our shirt didn't look like that. That's Mulaneyized. You know how she always has accessories and customizations? That's a Mulaney a special edition. I think you can find it on Christy's Etsy shop and, with her merch. But anyway, the staff here is wonderful. Parents, I can't thank you enough for supporting Race for Grace so much. Your kids are going to have a knockout great time on Friday, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes. So, anyway, Mrs. Mulaney, I'm sure you have got other things to do, and I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your schedule to be on the show. Parents, any final questions for Mrs. Mulaney? If you put them in the comment section, I will get them and we can ask her. Don't forget to give Mrs. Mulaney a big thumbs up for showing up. She always looks beautiful and looks great on every single show. So thank you for being on. I know Mrs. Mulaney's not going to want me to say this. How many of you remember last time Mrs. Mulaney was on the show?
Oh,
yeah.
Honestly.
So, and the funny thing is, this is going to happen tomorrow. They're calling for one of the worst windstorms around over the next 2 days, and Mrs. Mulaney was outside. It was like one of those weather ladies. The wind was blowing. She had papers in her face, but she was a trooper, and she still was willing to come on the show today. So, Mrs. Mulaney, thank you so much. I don't think we have any other comments. I think. Oh, wait. Monica says, thank you, Mrs. Mulaney. My homeschooler says you are beautiful and you look like a TV anchor.
Oh, so kind.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is the deal here? I come on and I just get razzed. You come on and we changed the name of the show to Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, we'll let you decide who the Beauty and who the Beast is. Sheila laughing. This is like the comedy hour, but anyway. All right, well, Mrs. Mulaney, thank you so much. We are going to continue on with the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. See ya.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was Mrs. Mulaney. We are so happy she was on the show today, and I can see her. They're laughing and everything out there. But, hey, Cinco de Mayo, open house day is coming. That's on May 5th. Make sure you mark your calendars. It is from 5 to 7. I told you before, we have the Taco Man that's going to be here, 3 different booths. You need to fill out this taco form in advance. It's $2 a plate, and yes, this is the plate that you're getting: 2 tacos, some beans and rice. It is a marvelous meal, and if you have a family of 4, that's $8. 2 times 4 is 8, or if you have a family of 5, that's $10, and you're getting a great lunch. In addition, Sheila says, yum, yum. Absolutely, you are right. That is yum. I could go for that for lunch right now. But with that being said, open house is a big time. It's fun. It's like a dog and pony show. It's the circus of all circuses. And we are working on some other special things that we're not quite ready to tell you about, but they are going to be fun. We already told you that the day of for open house, we are doing Roundup bars. And those Roundup bars, there's going to be 5 golden tickets, 5 Roundup tickets, and those 5 winners are going to be able to go to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, with some of our staff members and have a great time. But please don't forget to get this form turned in. I know you're probably thinking about Race for Grace right now. That's fine. But we need to get this tuned in, and you will definitely want to schedule time to come to open house on May 5th. Next up, we want to talk about the Daily Double News Flash. I brought this up last week. Some of you may have been looking for the News Flash, and where do we get the dinner form from? The dinner form is sent home. There's also a copy of it on our website, and you can get it. And I'm sure we will be sending out another email with that dinner form attached to it. And here we go. Let's see here. Aubrey says, open house is so close to my due date. Hopefully I can waddle around with my first grader to check everything out. Aubrey, I think it would be great if you come and you have your baby here and we name your baby Grace. Grace Christian or Roadrunner or Robbie Roadrunner, or we can film it live on the Weekly Roundup. How about that, Aubrey? But she's like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have shared that. But thank you. It's going to be a great time. Hopefully you're able to waddle around and enjoy the time. So the news flash is going to be a double news flash in April. It's covering both March and April. You know what? Bob Clark, if Aubrey, I will agree to that. Bob Clark says, if you have your baby here on campus, we will give that baby free tuition for life from preschool through 8th grade. I think that would only be fair. Wouldn't that be the promotion of all promotions? Is open house for preschool as well? Heidi Casasola, hello, Heidi. Hi, Wyatt. Yes, open house is for everyone. And Bob, thank you for sharing that. That was fun. Aubrey also says, laugh out loud, no water breaking on campus. All right, no water breaking. Oh, well, wait, I may have to take you up on that. We love Grace. We can film a documentary here. Now we got people laughing everywhere. They're thinking that's awesome. Let's see. Yes, you are absolutely. That's awesome. But yes, let's go back to some of the comments I missed. I kind of scooped over. Heidi, yes, it is for preschool also. This is a school-wide event. We're hoping to have everybody out here. Bring Wyatt out here. He's going to love to see all the goodies. He's going to get a chance to see his preschool teachers and all that. To our preschoolers at home, good to see all of you that are the Tuesday, Thursdays, and you're watching on a Wednesday. That's great. We're glad you're here. But I think I covered the news flash enough for everybody. And El Mercado, that means the market in Spanish. And tomorrow in junior high, it's El Mercado Day. And what they do is they have a market for all junior high Spanish classes, and they learn about how to sell things, purchase things. And yes, they do have all kinds of foods and treats here that they practice their market skills by ordering things in Spanish and doing that. It is a fun event that Mrs. Gardner created a few years back, and our kids look forward to it every single year. So if you hear about the market on campus, that is taking place tomorrow in junior high, and it is a lot of fun. Each show I talk to you about stay connected, and I go over these things, and I talk about all the different ways that we can keep you informed of what's happening here at Grace. I want to take a moment and talk to you about RenWeb. RenWeb is an extremely powerful tool for you as a parent to help us ensure the academic success of all of our students here on campus. All of our teachers log assignments on there, they log grades on there, and at any time, you can log in as a parent and check your child's status, their progress, their grades. Do they have missing assignments or anything? So you know up to the moment. You don't have to count on if a grade, let's say a kid accidentally got a D on a paper, that paper didn't somehow make it home to you and it got lost in the backpack on the way home or something like that. You are able to log into RenWeb and see that. One of the things we used to do, this was way before RenWeb, when they first came out with a program called Aries, we did with our kids, was every Friday or Thursday, we would log in and we would check the status of all of our kids, our personal kids, Eric, Sarah, and Heidi, and check to see if they had any missing assignments. They would have to have those missing assignments done because the weekend was coming, and that would be a perfect time for them to catch up or have it done so they can enjoy the weekend on their own. So parents, RenWeb is a very powerful tool. And you know what? I always tell my students when I was teaching, and you should know, report cards or progress reports should never be a surprise. you should be able to look at RenWeb the week before, and that's pretty much going to be what their grade is when the report card comes out. So RenWeb's a powerful tool. I encourage all of you to log in more frequently and just see how your kids are doing and continue to encourage them and congratulate them on the great work they're doing in class. Security. This is a security alert, and I talked a little bit about it last week. And this is just to remind you as parents, in the morning, it's been great to see so many of you come on campus and watch your kids play and everything. That is what we're all about, fellowship and family. After school, though, we are a closed campus. The only people that can come onto campus are preschool parents because they have to sign their children out at the point of contact. The next thing that's extremely important is to remember that you need to come up to the gate. Your kids will be coming to Carline, or you're signing them out of daycare. And the reason for that is we still have students on campus. Parents are not allowed to be roaming around on campus after school. If you happen to see an open gate, if you could be so kind and to shut it, because sometimes a parent will go out and they shut it and it doesn't latch. But most of the gates are on springs, so it usually works really well. But after school, that's it. Remember, we don't go in rooms where there's not a staff member, and that's just for your safety and our students' safety. So that's the security alert I just wanted to remind you of. Tomorrow, early release. That means 11:30 school lets out. Carline goes from 11:30 to 11:45. Any students who are here after 11:45 go to daycare at 11:45 until 3:15. It's free, as if it was a normal school day. And then at 3:15, they officially get signed into daycare. Remember, the cafeteria is not open, so send your children with a lunch. If a child would forget a lunch, we'll do everything in our power to make sure that they do not go hungry. The last thing I was going to talk to you about is the COVID bills. I've talked to you a little about this each week. 871, 866, you know, that's vaccinations for all students, vaccination without parental consent, that everybody in the state would be required, if they're going to work anywhere, would have to have a vaccine. And I talked to you guys about making phone calls to your representatives. Josh Newman is your state senator. Sharon Quick-Silva in the area is your state assemblywoman. I spoke to both of these offices, and they were very kind, listening. And Sharon Quick-Silva's office said that, gave a great suggestion. You know, one thing that would be very powerful is if you put together a letter and you have your parents sign it. That shows more strength in numbers that the assembly person is able to pass along to her constituents and to also to her colleagues up in Sacramento. So on Friday at Race for Grace, Sean and Mandy are going to have a table with a letter saying that we are concerned that parental rights are being forfeited because of these bills, and we're going to have a place where you can sign, print your name, and that's it. No email address, no phone number, and we are going to put that all together and present it to the assemblywoman, to the state senator, and also to a great suggestion was to the state senator and assembly person who authored those bills. Now, let me tell you this. Making phone calls do work. Although Senator Newman and Assemblyperson Quick-Silva's office did not give me any indication how they would be voting, which I think is kind of sad. I did call my representatives because where I live, I have different representatives. I have Senator Richard Roth, and when I spoke to his office, they were extremely polite. They said they had been receiving phone calls, and the senator would be opposing all of those initiatives. So that is one senator who could possibly they be counting on for a vote that is opposing. So the phone calls are so very important. Let's see here. Jeff says, thank you for the reminder about this important issue. Jeff, you are more than welcome. And Sheila says, thank you for the advocacy for these matters. You are welcome. I'm just supporting your rights as parents. I'm not telling you to be pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, pro or anything. I'm just trying to protect your rights as parents, because when you start giving those rights away, it's a slippery slope, and the next right goes, and before you know it, you've lost your rights and you've given up your rights to raise your child to the state or to the government, and that's something that we don't want to do, and that's why many of you are here at Christian schools, because you understand the value in having a say in your child's education and having a great education. So I don't mean to harp these things every week, but it does work to make phone calls. And if you're at Race for Grace, look up Mandy and Sean. They'll have a table set up. If we can get a couple hundred signatures, that would be terrific, and we will get those out to all the right people. And the thing is, I just received this from a Christian organization, and these are different bills that are quite scary, and one of them would be like SB 1464. It would require law enforcement to enforce the public health order. So say this becomes a public health order that your child can get a vaccine without your permission. Police now would have to enforce that, and that would mean you have great sheriffs like Chad Bianco who are for parents' rights, and they say we're not supporting it. The law would mandate that they have to. It would also prevent doctors from giving a second opinion if the state didn't agree with it. So here's some good information we'll have out for you. And I don't mean the weekly roundup to turn into political hour, but it's seeming that we're being pushed that way, that I have to advocate for you as parents and make you aware, because it's just impossible to watch the news anymore with the information that we're given. It's so one-sided. But wow, we're coming to the end of the trail for this week's Weekly Roundup. It was great having Mrs. Mullaney on. We had a little bit of fun along the way, and we had some great interaction from so many of you. And right now, we are up to 57 parents tuning in. You've given us thumbs up on the video. That's great. Tomorrow's minimum day in service, and on Friday is Race for Grace. And we will be done with another week. And can you believe we are flying through March, and it's almost going to be Easter break here before long. But parents, I tell you this every week. Every teacher and staff member on this campus, along with myself, we consider it a privilege to come alongside and partner with you in raising tomorrow's generation, tomorrow's future. One of the key slogans I have, the future is enrolled at Grace Christian School. It is. Our future is right here. And parents, we pray every day for you. We pray for your kids. Every staff meeting, we pray even for the unspoken prayer requests. So until I see you down the trail, which could be tomorrow or Friday at Race for Grace, I pray God just keeps all of your families in his loving arms and keeps you safe and blesses you. So I see we're starting to dwindle down now, but have a great day, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Weekly Roundup.
Got a bit of $50, got a bit of $50, got a bit of $50, got a bit of $50,